Hi, the last film I needed to round off 1965 for my awards listings was Gamera the Giant Monster. I'd hoped to see Orson Welles' Chimes at Midnight instead, but unfortunately that's recently been removed from Amazon Prime. I was even prepared to resort to The Greatest Story Ever Told, the 3 hour, 20-minute epic retelling of the life of Christ. But unfortunately, the version that's on Amazon looks like it's been recolored with a crayon and cropped down to 4:3. So instead, it was Gamera the Giant Monster, the first film to feature Gamera, the giant turtle and rival for the honor of Godzilla, as being Japan's #1 monster. The film is essentially a retread of the first Godzilla film. There's a nuclear explosion, Gamera rises from the depths, uh, travels across oceans, menaces Tokyo, and is eventually foiled. But there's none of the intelligence and allegory and satire that the first Godzilla film managed to bring to the screen. This is very much an idiot's version of a Godzilla story. I appreciate that there are kind of two versions of these stories. There are the serious, allegorical tales like the original Godzilla or the more recent Shin Godzilla, and there are the more knockabout monster mash romps of people in various costumes wrestling with each other against miniaturized landscapes. This has the style of the second, but it's aiming for the first. So we have a very earnest young boy claiming that he is now friends with Gamera after whom he previously had a tiny pet turtle himself, after Gamera, apparently purely by chance, happens to save his life. Gamera is also able to retract his legs into his shell and then fire rockets out of them so that he spins around and can fly all over the world. And this is portrayed as being entirely reasonable and not completely ludicrous and hilarious. It's a very hard film to watch, even though it's only an hour and 18 minutes, and the version I watched was very thoroughly and very well subtitled. It's very silly, it's very po-faced, it has nothing particularly to say, it's a very obvious and unimaginative Godzilla knockoff, using a turtle purely because the producer thought it would be interesting. The ultimate solution is to use fire to lure Gamera into a certain location for the Z plan, which isn't specified until the end of the movie. It turns actually to be a trick, luring him into the nose cone of a rocket that will then fire him to Mars, basically making it their problem now. This is a ridiculous ending compared to what Godzilla was thinking through of the danger of advanced science and breaking the genie out into the world. This is just a moronic monster movie for simple audiences. I found it to be probably the worst film of that year, and I do not recommend it.